Hello, everyone. We're going to get into chapter 2 now. And I think as we get into chapter 2, you'll start finding statistics to some of the theories that we went over in chapter 1 will start making a little more sense to you, and things will start to come together for you. So variables and data is what we're going to start with section 2.1. All right, and first definitions. A variable is a characteristic that varies from one person or thing to another. So, for example, height, age, sex, blood type, all these can be variables. Now, these are different types of variables, but they can all be variables. We have two types that we want to discuss. We have qualitative variables, which these are also called categorical variables, but these are non numerically valued. Okay, quantitative variables are numerically valued. Now that should kind of make sense because quantitative, if you quantitate something, it's usually numerically associated. Now there are two types of quantitative variables. You've got discrete and continuous. Discrete has finite values. Um, so that what we say is they're countably infinite, meaning we can it's a finite set of numbers. We can count those things. We can count discrete variables. Continuous variables um, are variables whose possible values form some interval of numbers. So they form some interval. And we'll get into some examples here in just a minute. So, for example, classify the following as qualitative, discrete, or continuous. Well, first and foremost, um, human blood types. Now, what are human blood types? We know we say O, AB, A positive, whatever, O positive, whatever it is. Now, these are not numerically valued, so that automatically makes those qualitative. Okay? The number of students in an elementary statistics class. Now, I can count the number of students in a statistics class, so we know those are quantitative. But once you figure out whether or not it's quantitative, you've got to decide if it's discrete or continuous. Well, like I said, I can count the number of students in a statistics course. Those things are going to end at some point. So what we would say is that is a discrete variable. That is a discrete variable. Now, here's the one we want to be careful with, height. Your immediate thought should be height is a number, so that's quantitative. That's the easy part. Okay, that's the easy part. Now, which is it, discrete or continuous? And your first thought's probably going to be, well, that's discrete because I can count a height. This is actually, folks, continuous. And you're thinking, why? Why is a height continuous? Well, because height can be, conceptually, it can be any positive number. Um, it's not set for every individual, right? So it's not a set thing. So it can be any positive number. So it is going to be a range of positive numbers. So that is a continuous concept. Height is. What is data or data, however you turn to say it? Um, Information obtained by observing values of a variable. Data is classified as qualitative, quantitative, discrete, or continuous, depending on how it was obtained. Okay, depending on how it was obtained. So, for instance, for instance, you ask a sample of students how many hours they slept. Is this quantitative or qualitative? Well, you can count how many hours you slept, right? So that is going to be a quantitative variable. A quantitative variable. A census is taken of the number of cars in a household in a city. What is that? Again, that would be quantitative because those are countably infinite. You can count the number of households, the cars in each household. Now, this is the one first graders are asked about their favorite color. That is not a numerically valued piece of data. So we would say that is qualitative. That is a qualitative piece of data because it's not numerically valued. It's not numerically valued. All right, so any questions on that? If you do, please contact your instructor. This particular section is pretty much going to be telling the difference between qualitative and quantitative, discrete and continuous. Make sure you know. If you have questions or need further explanation, there are lecture notes in the Canvas side of the course, and your instructor will be more than happy to explain it to you in the best way they can. Thank you.